9 sacred lessons that will transform your life as you age. As we age, we start noticing that some of life's biggest breakthroughs are found in the quietest moments. I didn't stumble upon these sacred lessons overnight, and each one has a story to tell. Consider this your personal roadmap to a more purposeful, vibrant life filled with transformative insights you never knew you needed. Number 1. Embracing minimalism for maximum freedom. So here's one lesson I wish I'd learned decades earlier. Less is more. It's the best-kept secret, really. Now, I wasn't always a minimalist. I was big on accumulating things, whether it was clothes, collectibles, or just random stuff, but as I aged, I realized half that stuff weighed me down more than it added value. It just meant more clutter, more decisions, and more stress. I took a page from Marie Kondo's sacred lessons on decluttering and organizing, known as the KonMari method, and I started letting go. Once I cleared out my space, I not only felt transformed, but lighter than I had in years. Funny how a little breathing room can make everything feel brand new. Now I often tell my old buddies, get rid of the junk and see what treasures remain. Number 2, prioritizing health over quick fixes. When I was younger, I'd pop a pill for everything, a headache here, back pain there. It seemed quick and easy, and well, everyone was doing it. But as I began to age, I started wondering, is this shortcut costing me in the long run? And the answer was yes. I realized I'd been treating my body like a machine that just needed quick fixes. The truth is, it's more like a garden. You can't rush it, you have to nurture it slowly. I started trading the pharmacy counter for the farmer's market, adding more greens and whole foods. To my surprise, these small changes transformed my energy levels completely. And the more I prioritized my health, the less I depended on prescriptions. A wise friend of mine puts this sacred lesson best. Preventive care is like investing. It pays off tenfold in time. Now, I'm not saying all meds are bad, but taking charge of your health, that's the best investment you'll ever make as you age. Number 3, developing a skill set that withstands time. You know, one sacred lesson life's taught me as I've aged is that having a solid skill set is like a personal insurance policy. When I retired as a businessman, I realized I didn't just want to sit back and let others handle everything for me, so I started picking up skills that could keep me self-sufficient. I even tried my hands at DIY repairs. Well, it's not like I'm about to remodel the whole house, but patching a leaky pipe or fixing a wobbly chair, those are good, practical skills that make me feel capable and a little proud, and honestly, it has transformed my sense of independence, knowing I don't need to call someone every time something breaks. My father always said, skills are like tools. The more you have, the more you can build. And he was spot on. Learning something new keeps us sharp, adaptable, and a little less reliant on others. Number 4, tapping into ancient wisdom. And there's something about ancient wisdom that really strikes a chord as you age. When I was young, I chased every new and improved idea. Now, I prefer the older sacred teachings, like those of Confucius. There's a grounding comfort in knowing that virtues like patience and respect still matter, no matter the century. And then there's the idea of balance. The Taoists call it the yin and yang, finding harmony in opposites. I try to bring that into my day-to-day life now. And you can too, whether it's balancing work with relaxation or ambition with contentment. The old ways might seem simple, but simplicity is often profound. These teachings offer so much that can transform anyone. They're like guideposts that make life's journey more meaningful. Number 5. Unplugging from the system. For years, I chased every new gadget, every trend, but eventually I realized they were all just hooks keeping me tied to the system. Big tech and big brands lure us with quick solutions, but at what cost? So I decided to make some transformations. These days, I'm a lot more mindful about what I let into my life. You can think about growing a few herbs or vegetables. Even a small setup can transform your meals by adding fresh, homegrown flavor. And if possible, explore options like solar energy to cut down on costs and dependency. You'd be amazed at how good it feels to step back from the consumer carousel and live a bit more independently. Unplugging doesn't mean living like a hermit. It's about making choices that enhance your life. And trust me, The freedom is worth every step away from the noise. Number 6, living with gratitude. Now, I'm not talking about just saying thank you out of politeness. I mean taking a quiet moment each day to acknowledge what's genuinely good in life. Small things like the perfect cup of coffee or a laugh shared with an old friend. Funny thing is, those small wins start adding up. When I started a daily gratitude practice, I noticed a transformation almost immediately. Fewer complaints, more appreciation, and even my blood pressure seemed to thank me for it. Even science backs up this sacred lesson. Studies show that practicing gratitude can reduce stress and boost physical health. But for me, the real impact is how it reshapes the mind. You start looking for the good in life, and wouldn't you know, there's more of it than you realize. Number 7, letting go of fear. Here's the thing about fear. It's one heck of a clever trick. I spent a good chunk of my career tiptoeing around it, afraid of failing, afraid of what others would think. And you know what? All that fear kept me boxed in. I'll never forget the time I almost didn't pitch a big idea because I was afraid of being laughed out of the room. A friend turned to me and asked, "What's the worst that could happen?" That simple question was all the transformation I needed. Think of fear as a fog. It clouds your vision but doesn't actually block the path. As I aged, I realized that fear isn't protecting us from failure. It's just holding us back from the view on the other side. So here's my trick. I started seeing fear as a signal, not a stop sign. When fear says, "Don't go there," I take a deep breath and push forward because the best things in life usually lie on the other side. Number 8, building enduring support systems. When I retired, I thought, great, I'll finally have all this peace and quiet. But then I learned my lesson that peace and quiet can get, well, a little lonely. I realized we all need connection and support. We need that circle of folks who share similar goals and values in life. But here's the catch. It's not just about finding any group, it's about finding one that's built to last. Years back, a buddy and I decided to start meeting every week, just to chat about what we were working on and cheer each other on. Over time, that circle grew to include others with similar goals. We became each other's lifeline, supporting each other without judgment, which made a world of difference. Building a support system like this takes effort, but it's worth it. Having people who celebrate your wins and lift you up when things get tough, that's real wealth. As a friend of mine says, strength is built on the shoulders of a good community, and that's a sacred lesson I couldn't agree with more. Number 9, the art of saying no. One of the best skills I picked up is the fine art of saying no. Sounds simple, right? But for years, I was a yes man, constantly going out of my way to please others, afraid I'd offend someone if I didn't agree to every request. And you know what? As I aged, it left me drained, stretched thin, and with very little time for what actually mattered. One day, a mentor told me this sacred lesson. Saying no is how you protect your yes for the things that matter. That hit me like a ton of bricks and transformed the way I think. It finally clicked that every no wasn't a rejection, it was making space for my priorities. Now I say no without guilt, and I tell you, it's liberating. If it doesn't align with my values or goals, I politely decline, and you'd be surprised. Most people respect it. Learning to say no is a small act, but it's one of the greatest forms of self-respect I know. So what can you do today? Pick one small change, whether it's focusing on your health, learning a new skill, or simply starting a gratitude practice. Take that first step and watch the transformation. Don't forget to share this video with someone you care about too. Until next time.